Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Ali and I'm a mum of 4 and I live by the sea in Wales, and I share all sorts of content on my channel, from doing the life videos to what we're eating to what we've been buying and parenting tips, routines, stuff like that. Today I'm going to share with you a what I've been reading video. I haven't made one of these before, but I've been reading a lot recently, so I thought I would share the books that I've read and what I've thought of them. There won't be any like spoilers, don't worry, but I like watching videos like this and reading posts from other people with recommendations of books they've read, because it gives me inspiration to find new books. So I've been reading all my books at the moment on my iPad, simply because I just find it easier just to download them, especially during lockdown when we haven't been able to get to the shops. I just download them and then I can read them on my iPad or on my phone, which is really handy reading them on my phone if I'm waiting in the car for 10 minutes to pick the kids up from school. Yeah, so I think that's why I've been getting more reading done, because I've got the books always accessible. So I use 2 apps on my phone and my iPad to read books. One's the Kindle app and one is the iBooks app. On my Kindle I've got an Amazon Prime subscription which gives me like a free book every month, I think. They send an email and you can choose between certain books. So I have been picking out the free books, but I've also been downloading some that are paid for. I do tend to look for the special offers though. So on my Kindle, the first one I've been reading is called Open House, and it was by Katie Sise, I think that's how you say it, S-I-S-E. And this was sort of like a murder mystery type book, and it was really good. I didn't get the twist. There's always a twist in these books and that. I didn't get the twist, and normally I can really see a twist coming. So I would recommend this one if that's the kind of thing that you're into. It was quite easy to read and interesting and engaging, and like I said, there's a really good twist. So if that's your sort of genre, that's a good book. Next book that I have been reading or have read is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Now I downloaded this because I saw everyone raving about it on social media, and it is a really good book, but I think it was maybe hyped up a little bit too much for me, because I just thought it was going to be something epic, and it wasn't. But it was, but I don't know, it'd been hyped up too much in my mind, I think. But yeah, it's about not giving too much away. It's about that sort of, about a moment between life and death, and all about the little tiny choices that we make every day, or even the big choices that we make, all the different choices and how that can change our path. So it was really interesting and really thought-provoking, and it's a bestseller for a reason. So yeah, I would definitely, even if so that you know what you're talking about, read this book, because yeah, it was good. Another book I've been reading is called Here to Stay by Mark Edwards. I can't remember why I downloaded this, it must have been on offer or something, but it was interesting, a bit creepy. It's about a guy who owns a house and his in-laws come to stay, and as you can tell by the title of the book, it's called Here to Stay, so they outstay their welcome a little bit. And it had, I thought I was following along with it and I'd got the sort of gist of what was going on, but it has got a really good twist, a couple of really good twists that I didn't really pick up on. So if like that's your kind of thing, again, it's like a sort of thriller mystery type book, yeah, that's a good one. Now this is a trilogy of books, and the first one's called The Yellow Crocus, and it's by someone called Layla Ibrahim, and I can't remember how I came across it, but I actually read the last in the trilogy before I realised it was like a trilogy of books, and it was really good, so I had to go and read the 2 previous ones. I think I bookmarked them when I was doing some research into like Black History Month and stuff like that, trying to diversify what I read. So basically the gist of it is it's a story. The 3 books follow the life of a black slave in the late 1800s in America, and she was brought in from the plantation work to be a wet nurse for their white family's new baby, and then it just sort of follows her journey through there, and it was so interesting. And of course I've learned all about slavery and abolition and American history, but I think reading it from the point of view of someone who lived through it, even though it is fiction, obviously it's based in like reality, it just made it hit home a little bit more. I think it made it feel more real, which is real. It was real, it happened. But yeah, it's just an interesting way of learning about it, I think, and it brought up lots of things that I hadn't thought about before, about race relations in America, and you can see why the situation in America is how it is now because of the history that has been going on. Yeah, so it's really interesting, and I was totally into these books, so into them that I was really disappointed that I'd finished reading them. So I would definitely recommend those. And then I think this book, this is in the cover of it, but it's called Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams, and I think again I bookmarked this when I was looking for some more diverse books to read, and it's a more modern story told from the perspective of a black lady living in London, and I found it really fascinating and interesting. It's quite graphic, and like I said, it's modern, it's got some modern themes going on, but yeah, it talks about race relations, it talks about feminism, mental health. It's very relevant for today, and yeah, I found myself, although I found myself identifying with the main character a little bit, or I could certainly feel empathy for her plight. Yeah, and it was just a really good read, and it is really good to diversify my reading, because it opens my mind up to different things, different perspectives, and it gave me a lot more to think about than I would normally have. And the next book, I can't show you the proper cover, here it is called Little Fires Everywhere, by Celeste, I can't say her name, her surname is NG, I don't know how you pronounce that. But yeah, you've probably heard of it, it's a Netflix show now, and I really wanted to watch it on Netflix, but I just never found the time. So I decided to read the book, and it was really, really good. Again, it's a social sort of commentary type thing, about, I wouldn't say it's so much about race, but yeah, more sort of social elevation, social positions. I suppose there is an element of race, a theme of race running through it. Yeah, it was just, I think I found the social commentary and that kind of element to it really interesting and fascinating. It's definitely worth a read, and I'm still going to go and watch the Netflix show because I absolutely love Reese Witherspoon. So yeah, I recommend that book too. The next book I've just finished is called So Lucky by Dawn O. Porter. Now, I really, really liked her book, The Cows. I thought it was a really modern and relevant and on point. So I was quite looking forward to reading this. And I don't know, it wasn't as good as The Cows, unfortunately, but it was really good still. Again, it's a social commentary. It's very relevant for today. It talks about social media, Instagram, and the problems that modern women face. Yeah, and it was funny at points. It's got some characters that have got a lot going on, and yeah, it just kept me entertained, that's for sure. So yeah, that was a good book. Now, this book is called You, Me, Everything by Catherine Isaac, and this is not like any of the others. It's more of a romance story. It's quite predictable. It's a very easy read. It's what I would call a holiday read. It's about a lady who has split up from her partner, the father of her child, and then she goes out to visit him on holiday, and well, you can imagine where it goes from there. Like I said, it's quite predictable, but yeah, a nice easy read. So if you're looking for something a bit, sometimes I like a really easy read if I'm feeling quite stressed out. I don't want to read something that I have to think too much about. I just want to read something with a nice happy ending. So yeah, that's that kind of book. Then the last book, this is one I've just finished again. It's called The Stranger by Harlan Coben. And this again is a Netflix series, I think, which I had wanted to watch. Sorry, that's the proper cover. Which I'd wanted to watch, but I haven't got around to. So I saw the book and I thought, oh well, I'll read the book. and it was really good. It's sort of like, again, like it's a mystery type thing. There's a twist in there that I didn't pick up on, and yeah, it was really interesting, but I don't know, I was just really annoyed by the ending. I obviously won't give it away, but wasn't the ending I wanted, put it that way. So I think that's why I finished this book feeling a bit frustrated, but it was a good book. So that's everything I've been reading on the iPad and my phone, and I also listen to books on Audible through my phone if I'm in the car driving, or if I am running. I also have my AirPods and I listen to books when I'm running. I listen to music sometimes, but sometimes I listen to books. And there's 3 I've been listening to that I want to recommend to you. And the first one is Ichabod by J.K. Rowling. And I don't really need to say much more else, do I? It's J.K. Rowling. We've been listening to that in the car as a family when we went away for Easter, and on the way to school as well, and it's really, really good. It's completely different from Harry Potter. It's quite dark in places, so probably like more suitable for older children, but yeah, we were sucked into it. We were totally into that book, so I'm quite disappointed we finished it, to be honest. The other thing I've been reading was a book called The Secret, or listening to, I should say, the Audible version. It's quite a controversial book, and it's about sort of manifesting good things and how everything that happens to you have brought to you. And I get it, and it was in a way sort of inspiring, but also like quite hard to believe in. And there are some things that I struggled with, you know, like there's the idea that whatever happens to you, you have attracted, so that could be something bad or that could be something good. So I struggle with that a little bit, but the premise behind it is quite inspiring and motivating, sort of, you know, thinking positively, being proactive, motivated, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm glad I'd heard a lot about it, so I'm glad that I listened to it, and I have taken a few things from it, but it's not a Bible for me anyway. And then the last book I've been listening to on Audible is a book called Hands-Free Mama, and it is so good. I haven't actually finished it yet, but it's all about prioritising time with your children over time on your phone, time on your computer, cleaning, anything that will basically take your eyes off your children. And as a busy working mum of 4 kids, I have that problem. You know, I will choose to do the washing rather than watch them play. I will say, sorry, mummy's got to work now. I will be looking at my phone too much. Although I am very present with them, there are lots of things I could do differently or better. And it's just talking about those. It has given me lots of little things to think about, and I've quite often, since I've been listening to it, I've put down the washing up, or I haven't folded the laundry straight away, just so that I could go and look at whatever they've made with their Lego, or have that conversation about Minecraft they desperately want to have. So yeah, it has sort of helped me refocus, and that's been really good for us. For me, the mother who's reading it, just, you completely feel her, and she's very relatable, and yeah, that book was recommended to me by someone on Instagram, and I would definitely recommend it to you if you're a busy mum like me. So that is a huge list of books that I've read lately. I really liked making this video. I'm going to list all those books down in the description box below so you can check them out, and hopefully I'll have had lots more time to read, and I can make another one of these videos in a month or 2's time. If you've got any recommendations of books you think that I would like, do let me know down in the comments below, and I will check them out. Thanks, bye.